Alrighty, so my long, long day is officially over. Um, it was very interesting, to say the least. I was basically watching at one point two shows at the exact same time, and also worried that my phone might die on me while I'm trying to watch Saturday night's main event, but it didn't. I got through both shows, and now I'm here to talk about them. Excuse me. Starting with Saturday night's main event, my thoughts and kind of overall um, general feelings about uh, tonight's show in Atlanta, Georgia. I thought the show was pretty good. Um, my predictions, it's literally 50-50 booking. I was 2-2 on this show, two right, two wrong. And I think we'll talk about the one that I think might have been changed. Um, but let's just go ahead and get on into it. The first matchup of the evening was Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre. Now, Jelly Roll, on SmackDown, he performed, but also Logan Paul came out and basically made the statement of like, oh, I don't want outsiders, in here, when Logan Paul is very much an outsider who turned into a wrestler. So yeah, that's a bit of lovely irony right there. Um, Randy and Drew had a pretty like good TV match for, again, I'm so used to like having everything like show uh during the matches. It's just like I have to, readjust to the commercials coming up. But they had a really good TV match. Towards the tail end of the match, Logan Paul and Jelly Roll actually get face to face. Jelly Roll shoves Paul onto the floor, which gets Drew's attention, um, and basically says, you shouldn't put your hands on, you shouldn't step, come in here and see if, you can do what I do. And I was like, yeah, that's right. And of course, turns around, gets hit with an RKO. Excuse me. And Randy wins. That was the other loss that I had in my predictions. After the match, Logan Paul is attacking Randy Orton, and Jelly Roll's had enough. He gets in the ring. Paul and Jelly Roll get into a bit of a shoving match. Logan tries to go for a right hand, but Jelly Roll blocks it, and he hits a right hand and sends Paul to the outside. But when Jelly Roll is checking on Orton, Drew hits him with a claymore. And when I say him, I mean Jelly Roll. And Jelly actually does a really good job of selling the claymore. I will give him that. And of course, GMs are out there, yelling at Drew, like, why would you do that? And so on and so forth. And basically get the bad guys to the back to, basically chastise them. Later on in the show, Kathy Kelly approaches both Jelly Roll and Randy Orton. And Orton's like, I shouldn't have had him out there. And Jelly Roll's like, no, like, it's not your fault. I'm a man, and they're going to see that I'm not, as soft as I appear. And it is confirmed also later on in the show that a tag match is going to happen. Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton and Jelly Roll at SummerSlam. So that's another match added to WWE's big summer spectacle of the year for SummerSlam. And that will be very interesting, to say the least. Moving on now, we have Solosikoa versus Jimmy Uso for the United States Championship. Jimmy actually busting out a couple of moves that I've never actually seen him do. He hit a German on the apron. He hit a corkscrew dive on the outside, taking out the MFT, Modern Family Tree. I also appreciated the post that MJF put on his Twitter, Is I thought that was pretty funny as well. Um, yeah, good back and forth between everyone in this match. Of course, the MFT try to get involved to help Solo retain the title, but it is because of Talatonga hitting Jimmy and also giving leverage to Solo in the pin that Solo is able to retain his United States Championship. 1-1 in my predictions. Afterwards, MFT are starting to beat down Jimmy Uso when Jacob Fatu makes his return and clears out MFT, including Talatonga, although it does take him a little bit to do so. So, we could end up, they could end up rerunning Solo and Jacob at SummerSlam, but I wouldn't particularly be excited about that, but if that's what they end up doing, I'm not going to be like overly mad about it because it makes sense story wise. So yeah, that's just my opinion on it. Moving on to Seth Rollins versus LA Knight. Yeah. Um, Again, good back and forth match between the two of them. Of course, LA Knight busting out all of his classics, the elbow drop where he vaults from the second to the top, and then his vault to the top to hit a superplex. Although the finish to this match is a bit weird. So Seth was going to go for a springboard moonsault off of the second, but he flips out of it and lands on his feet. But he tweaks his knee on his landing, and he immediately goes to the canvas. He's in the corner, he's talking to the ref, he's talking to Heyman. Like, it looks very much real. And at first I was like, okay, he's going to, pop back up and be like, everything's fine. It's a heel tactic, fake an injury, get up and then, continue with the match. But the ringside doctor came over as well. And Seth said, yeah, I can continue. And Knight immediately hit a BFT and pinned Seth and got out of Dodge. So 1-2 in my predictions. Yeah, if this is a real injury for Rollins, that sucks majorly because my assumption is that he was probably going to be facing Roman Reigns at SummerSlam. At least that was my guess anyway. And that seems to be, chucked out the window right now. So, more plans changing in WWE. But that, if it is real, that sucks for Seth. But yeah, there was just a really weird way for the match to end. And then, of course, this brings us to our main event. Gunther Goldberg for the World Championship. Now, I think a lot of people would have okay, 3 minutes tops, Goldberg hits all his stuff, and then Gunther, pummels him to a pulp, and then pins him or chokes him out with the sleeper. And actually, no, that they actually had a far more competitive match than I think maybe a lot of people were expecting. Goldberg no-sold Gunther's chops, which made me laugh out loud hysterically. Goldberg's knee became a primary target for Gunther in the matchup. He was wearing a knee brace. When Goldberg went for the jackhammer, I was a little bit nervous because, the last couple of times that he's tried a jackhammer, Undertaker, Fiend, those were not the best. And so I was like, and Gunther's like, comparable to like Taker and maybe just slightly under what Wyatt was. So I was like, okay, this is gonna be very interesting. But sure enough, Goldberg was able to pick him up. Gunther was straight as an arrow, and he went down. And I was like, that wasn't half bad. But of course, because of Gunther having worked over Goldberg's knee, he's a little late to the cover, and Gunther kicks out. Gunther slaps on the sleeper. Goldberg tries to get out, but he's unsuccessful, and he passes out, and Gunther retains his world title. Now, I have to give a bit of guff to the production people at WWE because you went to a commercial. Now, granted, this could have been NBC's decision. I don't know. But you went to commercial with like maybe 5 minutes left of TV time. You come back with like maybe 90 seconds to 2 minutes left of TV time. And you're wanting Goldberg to give a speech in just 2 minutes? That is insane. And it cut off in the middle of his speech. Now, granted, the speech may be uploaded to YouTube in its entirety. But still, like, come on. You gotta have better time management than that. Come on now. Say what you will about, AEW, but they never give specificities to how long, their pay-per-views are going to last. Like this, it's 2 hours, and you have to plan accordingly. So that's just, my little gripe about, how the show ended. But overall, it was a pretty solid show. A couple of shocking decisions, but overall, it serves as, nice little fun show during WWE's counter programming. I mean, weekend in Atlanta, Georgia, not counter programming AEW at all in the slightest. Nope, never. And I'm very much looking forward to Evolution. Oh, forgot to talk about this. They were showing off the ladies that were in the building, and they showed off Jade, and Naomi attacked from behind, and they were brawling at ringside, and Nick Aldis showed up and said, all right, I was going to save this for when we were in the office so we can talk about this like professionals, but since you guys don't want to be professional, we can do this out here. Your guys' no holds barred match at Evolution, there's going to be a special guest referee, and that referee is Bianca Belair. So it'd be very interesting to see what she does in that matchup tomorrow that kind of either, sides with her friend Jade or, her former best friend Naomi. So that'll be very interesting to see how that kind of dynamic plays out in the no holds barred match. But that is pretty much it from what happened at Evolution. Again, pretty solid show, and I had fun watching it while also watching AEW All In, which I'm going to be talking about relatively soon. But in the meantime, guys, be safe out there, and I will catch you guys later.